Church, mark my words. If Maya does not get information at doggy rehab, Alexis finna exit that damn marriage stage left. I got my notes. I hope y'all got yours. Let's get on into this damn mess. So jumping right on in with our hot topic. So our couples are moving in and merging places. Now listen, most of the damn places were pretty much normal and nothing to really write home about. But I did want to talk about two places. First off, let's talk about Mitch's nasty apartment. Baby, my grandmother used to take the word nasty and take the T off of it, and it would just be people's nasty houses or nasty this and nasty that. Mitch's house was nasty, okay? Mitch, I understand that you are Captain Save the Planet, but baby, you cannot forget about your own damn home, okay? You have to do better. A dirty house, in my opinion, speaks to the inner workings of someone's mind, okay? If your house is dirty, how is your mind clear, okay? That's all I'm saying. So I might be projecting based on how I keep my damn house in terms of, I try to keep things as organized and cleanly as possible because it just helps me mentally. But, listen, there are those people who can operate in organized chaos, baby. And if, the dirty stove, all the damn stuff everywhere, the lightweight hoarding in terms of all the bicycles, the boxes, the all this equipment and stuff, if that makes your mind work properly, then so be it. But I can already tell that Krysten didn't have a problem with it just from the way that she was looking. You could just hear the damn scream music in the background in terms of what was going off in that lady mind. Now let's get on into Miguel and his sexy nerd apartment. Y'all, Miguel is to me the epitome of a sexy nerd, okay? Because once we got to his apartment in my mind, I'm like, okay, where was the sexy suave man from the damn honeymoon, okay? He exited stage left, baby, and the nerd showed up. Now we got Dungeons and Dragons, baby. We got all these damn games. We got these action figures. And then you finna put on, a dog or a lion costume and some fur and attack me in the damn hallway, okay? But listen. In all honesty, when you marry somebody, you marry the totality of who they are, right? And it would be disingenuous to Miguel's self as a person if he wasn't able to explore and share his actual self with Lindy, right? Good and bad, freaky and nasty, weird and normal. All of it makes him who he is. So I'm glad that she was receptive to it and, pretty much played along in terms of actually wanting him to be himself and not be a fake version of it. So good for him and good for her. And then our second hot topic, y'all, let's just talk about Pastor Cal showing up. Finally, we see an expert, baby. What are we, 7 episodes in? And now we finally see an expert. Now, listen, I'm not going to be greedy because I wanted to see all of them. Not that all of them had to meet with, each couple, but I just thought that now the couples are back at home, it would have been a good intro in terms of here's the new expert panel, here are the people that are going to be helping them. But listen, we got to take what we can, get at this point. And I think that Pastor Cal is one of my favorites because he's very real, he's very open, he's very honest, and you can really tell that when he talks to the couples, he means what he says. So if we were going to get any expert at this point, I'm glad that it was Pastor Cal, even though I wanted to know, the drama behind the scenes in terms of why Dr. Viviana ain't there, where is Dr. Pepper, where is, what's her name, that lady from that movie, oh my God, Megan Good. Where is Megan Good ex-husband, since he apparently one of the damn, new experts? And where is the new sexpert that they're going to bring in? I don't even know what that lady name is, but thank you for coming, Pastor Cal. We will not look a gift horse in the mouth. All right. Now on to our general couple updates, y'all. Let's start with Alexis and Justin and talk about this doggy drama. Y'all, the doggy drama is something that hit close to home for me because it kind of gave me PTSD from a memory from my past. And just a quick story. Many Thanksgivings ago, we all got together, my family, and my 2 aunts basically brought their dogs to Thanksgiving. Apparently, nobody knew that their dogs did not get along. Hell, they didn't even know that their dogs didn't get along because it was the first time of them meeting. And they started biting at each other. Nobody really thought it was a big issue until one dog lunged at the other one and tore his eye out the damn socket. Like the eye was hanging, okay? all hell broke loose. It caused, a whole bunch of stress, struggles, and strife in the damn family. They did not talk for damn months. And, it just reminded me of that instance. So I'm glad that, even though Alexis's dog was attacked, it wasn't as severe as it could be, right? I forget the dog's name. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know. Oh, Newton, right? Newton, like Isaac Newton. I'm glad Newton is okay. He seemed to have like a little nick on his eye, and he in a cone. But I'm glad they were able to save his eye. There was no sort of damage, I guess, to the eye itself. It must have just been the surrounding area. But baby, it gave me PTSD. And it really shows how much people really ride hard for their pets, okay? People do not play about their pets, right? Especially when you've had the dog since, infancy, pretty much. And also, that's the person that you come home to every day. That's the person that's always happy to see you. That's the person that you take care of on a daily damn basis, right? A dog gives unconditional love all the damn time, right? So people, especially people who don't have kids, treat their damn dogs as their children. So I fully understand, what Alexis was talking about in terms of Justin's dog attacking her damn child, right? Now let's move on to their sit down with Pastor Cal, and let's talk about this whole notion of Justin withholding information. So there's this theory, not really theory, but there's this saying, this term in law where it's called intentional misrepresentation, okay? And it basically boils down to this. When you make a statement, right, that is not the full truth, you have intentionally misrepresented the truth in that scenario. Now, you might have not outright lied, right? There might have been some sort of facet that was truthful in the scenario, but the entire statement as a whole was a misrepresentation of that situation. And that's what we're really seeing in terms of what Justin did. Justin made a statement that he thought everything was going to be fine with the dogs. He didn't foresee any problems, but he withheld that Maya had a history of being aggressive with other dogs, right? Now, through Justin's own admission, baby, Justin said that the other dogs were at fault in those scenarios. That could be the truth. That could just be what dog owners say when they have a vested interest in their own dog. I'm not sure, but it all boils down to you did not tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, right? And so when they sat down with Pastor Cal, he basically gave them both very good, advice and information. Now, before I get into the information, let's just talk real quick. And y'all, please excuse my ghetto, okay, because I'm about to go there. Justin, what is you crying for? Okay, please let us know, let the congregation know, let the people know, let the world know. What is you crying for? Okay, if anybody should be crying in the situation, it should be damn Alexis, okay? Alexis had to deal with her damn child getting attacked in the damn apartment. He in a damn cone. He lightweight should be in a damn eye patch because he has to heal and get back to better health, okay? But you over here crying. I understand that you're empathetic, but the crying, it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with, and I don't know how Alexis deals with it. And I think Pastor Cal was so tactful in terms of trying to reframe it, right? Because we could go into why you crying again, what's going on, but he basically said, I understand that you're empathetic and you feel a lot of things, right? But I don't want you to beat yourself up. I think that's a good place to start, right? Because the advice that he gave to Alexis kind of corresponds with that in terms of it's a mistake and a marital test to overcome, right? And it comes back to this whole notion of trust, which seemed to kind of weave its way through all the different couples this episode. But Pastor Cal was saying, listen, mistakes happen, right? It's not that the mistake happened, it's what you do to overcome it, right? And it can't be this be-all and end-all situation. You can't make one mistake and there's no redeeming qualities. You don't allow the person to fix it. You don't allow the person to move past it, right? And so listen, she's going to have to give him some grace because that's his pet just as much as Newton is hers, right? And listen, mark my words, y'all, from the damn intro, she will leave that man over this damn dog if that dog does not get right in damn rehab, okay? Because From their conversation sitting on that couch with Pastor Cal, you could definitely already see the damn disconnect between Alexis thinking that the decision has already been made to get rid of Maya if the behavior doesn't change, and Justin saying it's going to be a hard decision and something we have to talk about, right? There's a disconnect there. There's a disconnect there, and there's also the issue of trust, right? How do we repair trust? How do I trust what you're telling me is correct, you know? And Alexis was like, listen, I need you to tell me the full truth. I don't care if it hurts my feelings. I don't care if I feel a certain way about it. I can't react appropriately if I don't have all of the damn information, right? And to Justin's credit, he's very empathetic. He tries to, do the best in each situation, but you can kind of do yourself a disservice when you withhold information that people need just because you don't want to make them mad or just because you don't want to have a difficult conversation, right? So there's learning on both sides. Alexis is going to have to learn how to be a bit more lenient and a bit more willing to accept mistakes and find constructive ways to get past them, right? And Justin is going to have to learn how to not sugarcoat everything and actually say what the damn problem is and not try to, sugarcoat people's feelings. People can take bad information. And first off, if it's a marriage, you're supposed to be able to be as open with your spouse as you can, right? So even if they get mad, even if it's not what they want to hear, you should have enough respect for them to tell them the entire truth, right? Let's move on to Stacia and Nate, y'all. Now let's first talk about this damn salary convo. I love the damn openness and transparency that Stacia and Nate had regarding salary, okay? Because it's a very taboo topic and people don't like to talk about it because, it makes somebody feel less than sometimes, or it's just something you don't talk about. Salary should be something that people talk about openly because you may be underpaid, they may be overpaid, but y'all need to talk about it, right? Especially in the workplace, but even more so in your marriage, you need to talk about it. I was just surprised how open they were on camera about it, right? So Stacia said that she makes $415,000 a year. Nate said that he makes $150,000 a year. Now let's take a step back. Taylor Armstrong of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, baby, she taught me something her first season on the show, and I've always carried it forward with me, throughout life. But she said there are only 4 ways to get that high class lifestyle, right? And out of those 4 ways, you're gonna make a damn decision, okay? You either inherit it, you marry somebody that has it, you screw somebody that has it and don't marry them, or you get it your damn self. And baby, Stacia is getting to the money, okay? And everybody mad. I don't know if everybody mad. It just went together with my damn thought process, y'all. Excuse me, okay? I got Beyonce on the brain. I don't even know if that was her song. I think it was a remake. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So Stacia make $415 a year. Nate makes $150,000, right? And so the conversation came up in terms of, is this appropriate for what Stacia was expecting? And she said, he already met the minimum requirements and exceeded that, so it's fine on, her end. And on his end, he was saying that, she wants to have kids, but before he has kids, he wants to get to a higher plane of salary, right? He wants to get to $250,000. Now, baby, listen, I'm not saying that you can't get to $250,000, which is pretty much another $100K in the year to year and a half time frame that she wants to have kids. I'm just saying that I don't know if it's necessarily necessary, right? Because if you're already making $150,000, which is way above average for, people in the US working and whatnot, and mama, in terms of your wife, is making $415,000, that's already a damn household making over $50,000 a year. So I think you kind of have to meter your expectations sometimes in terms of what's your own personal barometer for where you want to get and what's necessary for the goal at hand, right? I don't think that the child is going to be affected whether or not you make $100,000 more or not, because Stacia makes up the difference and then some, right? So it could just be something that's in his head. Now, in terms of when they sat down with Pastor Cal, the whole message was Nate needs to open up to unlock Stacia's, loving side and unlock her trust, right? So again, going back to trust and the pattern that's kind of weaving its way through all the couples. And it's nothing that we haven't already talked about through the screen, me and y'all. Nate seems to be giving lip service. Nate seems to be giving very surface level type conversations, and that's all fine and dandy when you first meet somebody in the damn honeymoon, but eventually when you settle into real life, you're gonna have to get deeper, right? And I told y'all last time, Stacia was opening up her heart to that damn man, just in terms of her past, how she got there, her relationships, and how she treated them. And he was pretty much not present, right? And so I don't know what the disconnect is, because they both have a disconnect. And when I say disconnect, I don't mean with each other. I mean a disconnect in terms of their past, right? And so Stacia's disconnect with her past in terms of not having a relationship and not really knowing her father, it does not negate her from her emotions therein, right? So she's still able to access them. She's still able to talk about it. She's still able to be verbal about it. For whatever reason, Nate's past with his mom and his past history, he's kind of distanced himself from those emotions so far that it seems hard for him to access. So I don't know if it's a conscious thing in terms of him being, not willing to go there with his emotions, or whether it's just something that he's locked away so far that it's very hard for him to access it at all, right? But in order to be married, and in order to share, and in order to make Stacia feel more comfortable, he's gonna have to go there. Like, I kind of question, the relationships that he was in the past, right? Because most women are emotional. They want to talk, they want to know your feelings. They want you to express things with them. They want to go through, everything from A to Zimbabwe. And that's not a bad thing. You should want to share with your spouse. You should want to be open and go there with them. And so I kind of question where in his past relationships, was that not a requirement that people, made with him, in terms of the relationships didn't last long enough for him to get to that level of emotional intimacy? Or was it something that you always curbed, and that's why you kind of always ended up by yourself, because your relationships were always surface level? So I'd be interested to know the backstory, because I geek out on that kind of stuff. But Pastor Cal definitely gave them very good information. And in order to get to the next level with Stacia, Nate's going to have to open up. So baby, listen, whether you got to go to therapy, use one of the damn experts, or unlock whatever, past trauma is preventing you from talking about your mom issues and your history in a constructive and open way, you're going to have to figure that out. Because Stacia don't seem like the one that's going, suffer fools lightly for very long. Now, moving on to Krysten and Mitch, y'all. Let's talk about this intimacy popping, baby. They had sex, honey. They have consummated their marriage. And, that is wonderful. From where they started to where they ended up, you can really see that the disconnect in the relationship was Mitch, okay? Mitch and his damn commitment issues, rearing their ugly head, kind of tried to torpedo that whole situation. But listen, Krysten stayed the course, okay? She flipped the script. And look, they're more intimate. They seem to be very, very close. They seem to be very lovey-dovey, and they had sex, right? So amen to Krysten, and good job. Now on to the Pastor Cal issue. She's afraid to make plans with the man because she doesn't want to get hurt. Now, last time I told y'all, I said Krysten was walking a tightrope, right? Because when she took her emotions out of the situation, when Mitch was talking about the level of attractiveness, she put herself in the driver's seat, but she also put herself in a precarious position, because she had to decide, eventually when you're trying to make a life with somebody and open up to them, you're going to have to operate on the faith that they may hurt you, right? And in order to get hurt, you have to be vulnerable. So she had to put herself out there, right? The thing I can't deal with is you don't want to talk to the man about life, finances, kids, how you feel, planning beyond the 8 weeks, baby, but you are feeling free enough to open your legs and share your coochie. Like, them two things do not go together to me. Like, if you gave up the gift in terms of your body and getting to that next level of intimacy with the man, then listen, you should feel the confidence to talk to that man about damn near anything. And I'm going to give y'all a piece of advice that one of my friends gave me a long time ago. But if you are afraid to have a conversation with somebody because you're afraid that they're going to leave you, they've already left, okay? You don't have anything to begin with, okay? Because if you are afraid to have a conversation because that person's gonna leave, and even if that person damn leaves, it's better off that they leave sooner rather than later, right? And I think, especially with Krysten's history, in terms of that damn botched, engagement and marriage and her fiance cheating on her and blah, blah, blah. To me, it's going to hurt either way, but it's going to hurt more on the back end if you wait to have these damn conversations at the end of the damn process versus right now, right? So listen, if you can open up and have sex with the man, you can talk to him about life, finances, kids, life post the damn 8 weeks. Y'all need to start having these damn conversations. So just how you got in the driver's seat in terms of when that man told you he was not attracted to you and he was having his damn commitment issues, you need to get back in the driver's seat. Because if you don't have the conversations and you're afraid that he's going to leave, you have nothing to begin with, okay? Because you need to have trust. And what do they say about love? Love is giving someone the ammunition to hurt you and trusting that they won't, right? So if you can give of your body and that intimacy to that man, you can ask the hard questions and figure out where he stands, okay? And whether or not he stands with you or against you, it's better to know sooner rather than later. Let's move on. Lindy and Miguel, let's talk about this notion of vow renewal day. Now, y'all, last time I told y'all that Miguel is running circles around Lindy. This week is no damn different, okay? They had to rephrase basically decision day because Miguel was talking about it so much. And I understand it on both fronts, right? Miguel is a realist, right? He's like, listen, we may be lovey-dovey. We just got married at first sight. Everything is peaches and gravy, but decision day is coming, and it's something that we should talk about because it's a real thing that's impending. Does it take you out of the day-to-day and the loving feelings in that moment? Absolutely, right? But it's a realistic perspective in terms of where we are right now and what this experiment is, right? And on the Lindy side, if you're always thinking about decision day as the be all and end all of our situation, then you take yourself out of our day to day. And it's very hard for me to develop those loving feelings for you in this moment, to deal with our relationship progression in real time if you're always planning for the end of the damn relationship. I get it on both sides. So listen, I think what they did was great in terms of a compromise. Let's call it vow renewal day, or vow renewal day, not vow, Lord, A-E-I-O-U, baby. Vow renewal day. So listen, it means the same thing, but sometimes reframing it is a better way to go along, to get along. So I'm glad that they found a way to move past it. Now, when sitting down with Pastor Cal, y'all, let's talk about this notion that Lindy has. Lindy says, if there is conflict, stay sturdy and don't tell me. I like Lindy. I do find her to be a bit ditzy, and I find her to be sometimes unable to advocate for herself and also explain herself in an effective manner, right? When she says, if there is conflict, stay sturdy and don't tell me, that's a very dangerous statement to make. And I don't think she meant it the way it came out, right? Because on the surface, it says, if we have problems, keep them to yourself and don't tell me not a damn thing. Keep me, in ignorance, because ignorance is bliss, right? But in terms of Pastor Cal unpacking it, what it actually means is, if we have a problem, re-examine it first, right? Decide if it's an actual problem. If it's not, then get past it. If it is, then find a way to communicate your feelings effectively to me in a pragmatic way, right? So it's just a reframe of the situation, right? She has the right ideas in terms of what she wants to say. It's that her words sometimes get away from her and don't really navigate their true meaning. So I was really glad that Pastor Cal was there to kind of reframe that conversation, because it did seem to be going left, because she's saying, don't tell me your damn emotions, stay in the moment. He's saying it's very hard for me to do that because in my past situations, I stayed quiet. And then by the end of it, when I'm ready to exit the relationship, they're like, why didn't you tell me from the get-go? So he's trying to get ahead of the curve. I get both sides of it. Lindy, work on your damn words. Miguel, work on reframing situations, figuring out if things are actually problems, and finding constructive ways to tell Lindy that don't always end up with her feeling like you trying to exit the damn relationship stage left. Moving on to Morgan and Binh, y'all. Let's talk about these trust issues. So, nothing new here, post-honeymoon in terms of Binh losing his damn mind, overreacting about the whole nursing thing and whatever. it took away the trust of the situation. And I think Morgan's like me a lot, because like I've had people defy my trust a lot. And it's very hard for me to build it back with people, right? It takes a long time. And I think it's going to take a long time for Morgan and Binh to reformat that trust in a constructive way for their relationship, right? And so just like Morgan, I give trust freely until you give me a reason to pull it back, right? Now, normally people wait, a couple years before they start defying your damn trust, honey. Binh did it on the damn honeymoon. So listen, I fully understand where Morgan is in terms of like, retreating into a shell and trying to protect yourself because of past experiences, right? And that past experiences piece is a very good segue for the Pastor Cal conversation. So Pastor Cal basically asks Morgan, who hurt you, right? Because oftentimes than not, when we're having conflict with somebody, yes, it could be based on the conflict itself in terms of what's happening in that moment. But more often than not, it's probably some sort of repressed issue from the past that you haven't dealt with, that you've stifled, and that you're kind of recreating in your present life. So Pastor Cal, in so many words, basically asks her, who hurt you, right? And what it comes out is that, she has daddy issues, okay? She set boundaries with her father. Her father went past those boundaries, and because of that, they don't have a relationship today, okay? So it's kind of the recreation of the parental father trauma in her current situation, right? So what does she do? Because this situation with Binh is reminiscent of the issue that she had with her father, she retreats into herself. She goes into protective mode, and, she goes into we have to start fresh mode. Now, in a normal situation, what I'm reading from the context of the situation is she would pretty much be done with Binh. But because she's married at first sight and she's trying to do better, now comes the point of where you have to work through the issues, right? So I wish her luck with it. I think it's going to be a new thing for her, but I also think that intention is very important, right? Binh even said that he overreacted, okay? And he is actively trying to fix it, okay? And one of my sayings that I always, not even my saying, but something that I've heard that I've always kept with me is if you tell somebody there's an issue and they do nothing about it, let that person go, okay? But if you tell somebody that what they did to you is an issue and they try to fix it, keep that person around because they care, okay? And I think Morgan's gonna have to realize that just because she had issues with her father in the past that are kind of lingering in the back of her head, because she's crying about it, and that tells me it's not resolved. Yes, you can cry about past memories and it not be a big issue, but the way that she immediately leapt into that crying, it's very unresolved, it's very painful, and it's very raw, okay? So listen, Binh is actively trying to change. Trust that that man is not your damn daddy and that he's actually trying to actively make your relationship a more effective and a more open and honest place for the both of you. So it's going to take both of their sides to get back to a better place. Binh's going to have to, re-earn her trust, and Morgan's going to have to facilitate an environment where she's open to it, right? So good job, Pastor Cal, for getting to the root of that. And y'all, I really think that's all I want to talk about on this damn episode. So if you liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media at DatDamnDasher. And until next time, y'all, in the eternal words of my grandmother, speak the truth and speak it ever, cost it what it will. Those who hide the wrong they did, do the wrong thing still. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.